Jersey podcast, and brother, we got a banger today. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so you know when we do another video. Uh, like I said, normally I'm always with a special guest from the past, a special athlete from the past. So we're not in our studio right now, like I've reiterated a few times, but I'm trying my best to work on it and get us there. Because I miss my guest, I miss the camaraderie I have with the guests, and it just feels good to go back in the past and talk to these guys about their career. Um, but go ahead and hit that like button, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, and bring your friends over too, so we can get this thing popping. So let's get it started. So if you guys watched football this weekend, you were aware of what happened at Texas A&M with the with the state trooper who body checked two South Carolina players because they were getting blown out of the gym. Now they eventually came back and won the game, but that's besides the point. Okay, let me read this statement. A&M State Trooper, who they won't release his name, intentionally bumped into two South Carolina players purposely. If you've seen the video, you will see that this bum came and body checked Nick Harbor and Oscar Attaway. This was some foul mess, and I think I've seen that video at least 15 times to make sure I wasn't missing nothing. And luckily, luckily, I got my hands on the whole video to show that I wasn't losing my mind. These dudes even parted ways so they could, let the cop by. But keep in mind that I have the whole video and I can't post it right now. I can't post it right now, but I will. I'll let you see it sometime. I may do a show tomorrow. So let's go on. They even let him by. Then he turns around and shouted something at him after he body checked him. Now, this was leading up to Nick Harbor burning their defense on like one of the last plays of the first half, 80-yard touchdown run all the way into the tunnel. So, you know how those stadiums are built. Some players run through those tunnels after they score a big touchdown, or some do it just to show out. But I want to say hi to all the people that's coming in. Casey, Joshua, uh, Kristen, how you doing, love? Um, just scored this 80-yard touchdown before halftime. Like I said, these stadiums, and I have a good friend of mine by the name of Randall Hill. He also happened in Texas in the Cotton Bowl, where after he scored a touchdown, he ran all the way through the tunnel. Bo Jackson has done this before. Uh, a lot of players have done this before, but this particular time, Nick Harbor, their All-American wide receiver, he tweaked his hamstring. Hey, Taco Slay, how you doing? He tweaked his hamstring, and some people kind of use that tunnel to slow down. Slow down. So like I said, I have the whole video. I have the whole video, and this dude waited and stalked these boys all the way into all the way out of the tunnel. He waited for them to come out of the tunnel and smacked and just body checked him with his elbows. And they even tried to let him by. That was foul. His teammate Attaway ran because he kind of felt something was wrong. So he ran to help his brother. That fake trooper followed them all the way into the tunnel and did this. They were getting blown out 31-3, I believe, at halftime. They came back and won the game, which was good. Shout out to everybody coming in. Go ahead and like the live. Go ahead, if you haven't liked the live, go ahead and like the live. But here's my question. You're supposed to be there to protect them. And if you were so mad, why are you taking it out on the opposing team? Why ain't you body checking Texas A&M players for getting blown out 31-3 at halftime by a 3-5 school? Y'all was getting the brakes beat off of y'all. Texas A&M is undefeated. Texas A&M is undefeated. So they had to win that game. Lenore Sellers, who's my Heisman Trophy favorite, that's another story for another day. He had a pretty good game, but just wasn't enough. They were losers of 5 in a row. Now Texas A&M did release this statement, and I'm gonna read it. We are aware that this is the police department. This is the state trooper's office. We are aware of the situation with the state trooper, and he has been relieved of his game day duties. The matter is being further investigated. End quote. Who cares about him being relieved of game day duties? Nobody cares about that, bro. Nobody cares about that at all. That's not justice. That's not justice at all. We want him fired. We want him suspended. We want him fired. He can go. He can go to a little league footballs. Football is big in Texas. He can go to a little league football game and do their duties and be. And he can protect them. Is what I'm trying to say. This makes you wonder what he does when the camera is not on him. This makes you wonder how he behaves when the camera's not on him. He's a coward. Another story. We got NBA great Patrick Beverly in jail for assault. Once again, this happened in Texas. Pat Bev, 37, I'll read the quote. Pat Bev, 37, was arrested early Friday at a home in Roshan. Bond was set at $40K. Bond was set at $40,000. Now, the details were that he came home and his underage sister, who's under the age of 18, was with somebody that was over the age of 21. Now, I'm kind of torn on this, but I'm really not. I'm really not torn on this. Because he attacked him. He did attack him. Like I said, he did attack him. What would you do What would you do if your baby sister, you walked up on your baby sister with a grown man? We don't know the correct age. We don't know the correct age of the boy, but law is the law. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first slap the pure hell out of my little sister. Why is this grown man in your face? It was probably meant for him to catch him that way because he probably prevented something that could have gotten out of hand before we knew it, before he knew it. Then, after I bust her head, I'm going to bust his too. You too old to be around my little sister. So both of them is going to be a double butt whooping. It's going to be a double butt whooping. We wish him the best. We wish you the best, Pat Beverly. But you know better. Next story, we got New York Jets corner Chris Boyd shot in New York outside of a restaurant about 2 a.m. in Manhattan. I didn't know Manhattan had that kind of violence. Manhattan is normally like the upscale spot. He was taken to the hospital, he was taken to Bellevue Hospital, where he remains in critical but stable condition. It says they got into a little scuffle outside the restaurant where he was shot, and they still haven't caught the dude that shot him. Here's my question. Why do you cowards use guns, shoot people, and then run after you do it? You were a grown man when you were shooting. You were a grown man when you were shooting. Stay there till the cops get there. What are you running for? And I'm going to say this to Chris, and I'm hoping you're getting better, kid, but I honestly think you need to switch your circle up. You need to switch your circle up. You're making a lot of money. This could have easily been taken away from you. We could have been reading another story about you. Change your circle. We can't take everybody with us when we make it. We just can't do it. You can't put yourself in these bad predicaments, man. Get well soon. Another story. FSU missed out on a new head coach today to replace Mike Norvell. Sources say James Franklin, former Penn State and Vanderbilt coach, is in serious contract negotiations with Virginia Tech, another ACC opponent that Florida State is going to get beat by every year now. The knock on James Franklin has always been he can't win the big games. He can't beat the Ohio States and the Michigans of the world. Listen, Norvell can't beat the Miamis, the Clemsons, and the Floridas of the world, and these is on downtime. All those teams that Franklin loses to are basically, you know, trending upwards. Ohio State, number one team in the country. It's going to be hard to beat them. They always get the best recruits. This dude's average win total, his average win total a season is barely 5 games. Yeah, I'm gonna count the COVID year. I'm gonna count that year. If Florida State doesn't get Nick Saban, then we're gonna be screwed for another 5 years. We're gonna be screwed for another 5 years. I hear the rumblings, people talking about Jimbo Fisher coming back and all that stuff like that. That's good because I mean that's fine. But you remember how he left us. I'm a Jimbo Fisher fan, but I do remember how he left Florida State. Wasn't recruiting anymore. You know, uh, being nonchalant in press conferences and stuff like that, and it just left. So at least Jimbo uh, has a better winning percentage than, of course, Norvell, but he has one of the better winning percentages in the ACC in the history of the ACC. So I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt because I'm not sure I like this hire. If we don't get Saban, if we can't convince Coach Saban to come out of retirement, and I've been critical of Coach Saban over the years of how he done things, but nobody gets the best out of these players except Coach Nick Saban. We keep losing prestige stars, messing with experiments, dealing with experience. And I'm tired of these experiments. We can't get Coach Saban and get Rex Ryan as a defensive coordinator. I don't really want it. By the way, Virginia Tech and Florida State played this weekend. Florida State won that game. before I before I go any further, let me shout out to the Mosley Dolphins for winning their district game against Tallahassee Lincoln, 33-30. My nephew actually plays for that squad. Shout out little TJ. He needs a little burn, Mosley. Y'all need to give him a little bit of burn. I don't know what he's doing wrong. Do I have to come out there and coach him? Uh, but shout outs to my nephew, all the players on Mosley. Uh, my man Jay was the quarterback, JP Hollenbeck, and Sammy Chisholm. I know his family. Good luck the rest of the way, Dolphins. Y'all haven't been this good since all my boys played there. Guys like the great Larry Bell, rest his soul, Devon Holly, Randy Pittman. You had Sean Wilder, all of those guys. Y'all haven't been this good since then. But shout out, and I hope y'all take it all the way. So this is, retro. So I got to do a couple of things that are retro. So I got to say this on this day in history, the 17th of 1940. In 1940, did you know the Green Bay Packers were the first team to travel by airplane to a away game? Also, today is the birthday of the late great Tom Severs, who would have been 81 today. Today, he would have been 81 today. He was a flamethrower, man. I got to watch clips and I got to watch a little bit of him before he retired. His record, but I think it was like 311 and 205. I was trying to memorize that. 311 and 205 over 20 seasons. Dude had too many accolades that I can't put up. But he was a Cy Young winner, Hall of Famer, World Series winner. He had it all, bro. And he was just amazing. Happy birthday, King. Keep throwing strikes wherever you are, brother. He'd have been 81 years old today. Also, today is the birthday of NBA great Elvin Hayes, Hall of Famer, one of the 50 greatest players of all time. And also, if he's on the 50 greatest players team, he's also on the top 75. I'm not fixing to write all this dude's accolades because it's just too many. But happy birthday, King. 80 years old today. Uh, I'm going to go a little further with this. Um, my guy, shout out to my boy, Champ Kelly, um, who's right now serving as the intern general manager for the Miami Dolphins. I don't think there's too many people in the world that are more deserving than this guy. I mean, he gives me a chance every year to come out and help coach kids at his camp, and I absolutely love it. I love it, and I couldn't be more happier for another person. He deserves it, and I hope he gets the job full time. Um, like I said, there's nobody more deserving. He does so much for the kids. He does so much for these communities. It'd be a shame for him not to get the job full time. Uh, hopefully, I'll see you at camp this year, brother. Um, before we go, I also want to send a special shout out to the young man Ethan Pritchard, linebacker at Florida State University, who was shot by some cowards on a home visit. On his home visit, and that bothers me. Like I said about these cowards, why y'all shoot people and then run? He was able to be present at the Florida State game this past weekend. He was I seen him in his wheelchair. I didn't go to the game, but he was able to maneuver around and stand up a little bit from what everybody was telling me. Praying that he get well, and I also seen where he cut his NIL salary down so he can help the team. That's what a soldier does. He's a soldier. And also, let's give a special shout out to my man Deuce Robinson, who's also at Florida State. That's not too far from the record books, um, needing just over or under 100 yards to be a 1,000 yard receiver. That'd be amazing. We haven't done that since Rashad Green. So that was a while. It was like 2013, 2014. So we definitely wish him the best and hoping he get that because we need that. Only bright spot at Florida State this year. Him and the Desir brothers and Chroma uh, and Randy. Well, I'll get on his case later. That being said, we'll go ahead and end the show. And you don't want to miss next week's because we got a great show. We're gonna talk about the NBA or NFL great. I'm sorry. We're gonna talk about NFL great Don Beebe, and I am totally, totally, totally upset about this story. I'm disappointed in him, and we'll talk about what happened to Coach John Beam. Now, if you're not familiar with him, um, he was a coach that was unalived here recently, and I'll get into the details why. I may even come back on tomorrow and do the show. But thank you for joining, and I'm sorry I seemed a little bit nervous tonight, but we'll get it back together. This has been the Retro Jersey Podcast. We will see you next time.